because I got to keep it on a Discord, otherwise it'll keep shutting the screen off, and I won't be able to see the comments of the people asking questions. So now let me go ahead and just make sure the link gets shared, and then we'll wait a few minutes to make sure people can have time to file in.
We just both thought of this in just simple physics into our gas tank. Just straight up, with all of our torque going into it.
Fireball going down the highway.
We were gonna get plywood, but no, it's so fucking expensive.
Yeah. I can't even imagine how much plywood is right now.
It's a lot. I think it was like $20 per square foot, whatever I said. That was a while ago. It's gone down. Chicken breasts are $1.99. They're like 5 something. They're chicken. They raise a few hundred or a thousand.
It's like that big, and they're 5 something. I don't know.
They're mass farms, or whatever you want to call it. There are a fucking lot of them, and they're really small. There's not a lot of meat.
I gotta go back on here so that I can share all the links to the other people that might actually be interested in this. Pretty sure there's plenty of people who are interested in it, to be fair.
There was a fucking large.
And I'm only gonna post these to the ones that actually know who both of us are. So I'm in a lot of other Discords, and most of them aren't part of this community itself. So.
Oh, gotcha.
But that stopped the supply chain.
Yeah, I started getting into some communities on Facebook and stuff. And so I have all these extra ones that I'm part of that aren't really the same as what I normally do, so. And I put all these on YouTube when I get done with them too, which is good.
Yeah, they really just started fucking
Helps me put more content in, because I don't always have time to record multiple videos or even one video, so this helps me not have to put too much effort into that while I come up with YouTube ideas too. And then we got what is it? We have, I think McMillan's supposed to be on at some point in the future, and CJ Sauce, we're working on getting him on too.
You kind of be on back and forth?
Yeah, McMillan had something going on, and I tried to have her on, and then she'll get back to me when she's actually free to be on it.
Okay.
And then Sauce and I just have to figure out what day and time is good for him, and then we'll go ahead and do it. Okay. So, stream started, obviously, as most of you can tell. I should get my glasses on so I can read what the hell y'all are saying. Okay. Ardum's already been talking, so he's here. Welcome him to stream. I usually have people mute themselves when I'm booting up, but I was like, this time around I just won't do it. And then obviously if you want to go ahead and hop into chat, you can obviously do that too. So if anybody's asking you a question directly, you can see it and then just add that on if you are already answering me. Good afternoon, Sir Martini. How are you doing? Okay, so I think my sound's good. The Couch started 2 minutes later. Yeah. Him and I actually got on Discord call a little bit late as well, so there's that. Okay, so Ardum, let's go ahead and jump in with the first question. What got you into streaming, or who motivated you to stream?
I would have to say, more now. Constantly watching, that's the one I'm going to. CJ is another one. CJ is awesome. Both were kind of big motivators to get me going. There's a couple other people in there.
Oh well, Sir Martini, I'm upset I missed that. Sorry, Sir Martini was saying something in chat, and I didn't want to make it seem like I was ignoring him. Okay, so it was like Up and Atom and Sauce.
Yeah, those are the main two.
My main two, I think it was actually Fendler and I think Ninja were my two. As well as maybe maybe a little bit of Maze GC. Those were the first three streamers I actually watched, so I'm pretty sure they were probably the ones that motivated me to actually start streaming.
Yeah, CJ was actually my first subscription, and that was not too far after that. Fendler was up there. It was pretty much off the last year.
And you had no thoughts of ever streaming before talking with them, right?
No, I had no, not at all. I was more or less there for it as live. I started mingling with people, and I learned even more. The rest is kind of history after that.
So now that you're into streaming like you are, and you've gotten as far as you have in it, are you happy that you made the decision to start streaming? Is there ever a day when you think of what it would be like if you weren't streaming right now?
Since I started, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Once you get the people in chat, it's a lot easier to do it when you got a chat room and you got people talking and stuff like that. Obviously, we all know that. You talking to nothing else. It just kind of demoralizing. But yeah, when the chat's moving, when people are in there, it's a lot of fun. Shooting the crap with people and having a good time playing video games. It's nothing really better. You're sitting there playing anyways, so you might as well stay.
This community is really good at that, because last year I had been pretty consistent with my streams from April to about June, July, and then I think in August is when it started getting I was barely ever really able to stream, and we got to January and I was able to stream a little bit for a couple months, and 2 months ago I was able to come back and start streaming again. And when I came back and was able to stream for almost an entire month straight, the amount of people that were coming in was good. I don't think I ever had less than maybe 5 people in chat at once, besides when it was winding down and people were hopping out as I was finishing up what I was doing. And that's one thing, anybody who's left the community for any extended period of time, RoboTeach, Silent Ninja, those type of guys that were gone for months because, they had a kid to start taking care of, or another kid in, I think, Ninja's case. But then they come back and it's like they never left. So...
Which is good to see. That support's there.
Yeah, the community support, no matter how long you're gone, is just a testament to how this community rolls, which leads me to my next question. What are the first 5 words that come to mind when you think of this community and when you talk about this community to other people? What are the first 5 words that come to mind?
I would have to say supportive, obviously.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest one. Kind. Most of them are kind.
Yeah.
People that come in and stuff. You don't have very many trolls that they do.
Yeah, most of the time, chat's pretty nice to each other. It's pretty calm.
Yeah, everyone talks to people. Those are very few people that ignore people. It's just the way it is.
All right. Third word is, or fourth word, whatever one you're on.
What else have we got? Passionate.
That's a good one.
A lot of I mean, you can see a lot of people are passionate about the game. You see, the ones that rage, the ones that, get into stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not just that, but just everything in general.
Yeah, everything in general is pretty good.
I would say giving. The amount of coinciding with support, the amount of subs, all that stuff that's thrown around.
I mean, you don't gotta talk to me about a ridiculous amount of subs. I already know. I already know.
Yeah, exactly. It's not getting bold too, so it's just like, that's what, and for the most part,
Yeah, I'd say like my 5 words that I would give is like loyalty is one of the words I would use. We're all very close knit is another good one. Obviously, generosity, without a shadow of a doubt, is normally the first word that a lot of people have that come to mind. As you said, the passionate one's pretty good too. And then just the, I think the last one would be supportive. Like not just like in the showing up for streams, tabbing, all that type of stuff, but like off stream, like on Twitter when like people are trying to get cards, normally people help them get those cards. And like Evo when he was trying to get his new computer chair, that was done in like a day, less than like half his stream, boom, it was done. It's support in like every way, shape, and form. Like YouTube, we all support each other. I mean, if you scroll down my news feed, you'll see plenty of me just like posting other people's links up and having people go that way. And TikToks and like everything, we support each other on every platform and off of social media too, or off of like streaming and stuff like that. We're like actually closer than I think most communities are, if not every community. And it's because we all like feel like we know each other, even though we've never met each other before, because of how much we've all been through the past like year.
And also too, the ones that try to, the ones that maybe make a partner, but they want to make that extra push that they don't want to. They want to use it as a job, you say. And then the ones that, the community backs them and they kind of, they help all, I'll mention Ardum, with his YouTube and stuff, try to get his YouTube off the ground.
Yeah.
As far as getting views, getting all that other stuff too, the community that helps out with that to get him in that spot too, it revolves around the whole support system. It's just good to see. Everyone tries to help people reach their ultimate goal that they want to reach.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate right there. Let's move on to the last question you and I were talking about before, and then we'll get into the more unique questions. What are your first 5 names outside of the biggest names in the community that you would recommend to others if they wanted to get in the community but they didn't want to get into a huge chat room first? Who would be the 5 you would send them to?
Two icons, other than the main ones. We've already had them on the podcast, Mr. Rob.
Yeah.
Real genuine people.
Okay.
You can't get any more genuine. They'll do what they can for you, this and that,
Yeah.
I mean, you've already achieved. Those are my first 2.
Well, the 5 that I think of, like, if I were to have to send people to people that don't have like thousands of followers already, is I would send them to people like I'd send them to people like Jeffrey Short. Yeah, I'd send them to Jeffrey. I'd send them to Laserbeam. I'd send them to Mark Ant. Though I don't know where Mark Ant's followers are anymore because I haven't popped into his chat for like a month or so, but I would definitely send people that way. I think my fourth one would probably be, even though I'm pretty sure he is above 1K, I'd probably send them over to Luch. And then the last person I'd send them to would probably be GD4. I don't know how to pronounce his actual username, but it's one of the other Charger fans in the community. I'd send them that way too.
Okay. There's another one here too. He doesn't stream that per se. It's more Call of Duty stuff, but you probably know who he is, Margonaut.
Yeah.
He's really cool. I get along with him really well. His friends are typically pretty,
Yeah, they're normally pretty good. I've noticed a lot of people outside the community, like I was talking about last stream with Mamory when I was doing the last podcast. I watch like people like Wolfie to the Max. She's a VTuber. I watch her because she's a variety streamer, much like myself. And she does like horror things, and every once in a while she does stuff like Power Wash Simulator, and then she sometimes watches just videos and that type of stuff. But yeah, she I actually found her when I was scrolling through TikTok. She has a TikTok too, and she was doing one. I think the first one I saw of hers was for her birthday stream, which at that point was like a month ago. And she did mention on a separate one that she does have a Twitch and to go to her thing, and that's the first time I learned about that link tree thing where you can put all your links in one place. And I clicked on that. I watched like all of her VODs that were things I was interested in between the day I first saw her on TikTok to the day she went live following when I followed her on TikTok. And then by like the second stream I was subscribed to her from now until December.
Nice.
She has some very very fun content. She's also pretty good on like Twitter interactions and stuff too. Her like she has a lot of energy, like good energy like we have. Good chat interaction for the most part. I mean, it obviously goes downhill a little bit when she plays something like Resident Evil or something like that, when she actually has to pay attention to most details.
Yep.
But she never really falls too far behind on chat, and even if she does, she always reads back through her VODs, and she makes sure that she reads all the other comments and does address some of them if they were ones that were like questions or something like that. She's supposed to have a Q&A stream, I think, today, from what I remember, so that'll be fun. But yeah, I've extended, like, I watch a lot of VTubers based, from her to a few others. I always still have my Madden people I watch, and Call of Duty I watch, which I think JG's kind of shifted more into a Call of Duty streamer now that I think about it.
Yeah, I mean, when that guy told me the 20 there.
Yeah, like, I tried to I think if I stream MLB, I can probably get a good amount of people in here still. I had like 6 people in all my MLB streams, so people were enjoying those.
Right.
Which
yeah, I even streamed that too when the Madden kind of died off of MLB. I just booted up MLB and just did that for the time being.
Okay, so we're gonna real quick, look at this Vikings roster, and we'll figure out who you want to trade away while we're going through some. So, is there anybody right off the bat you want us to try to get rid of?
That one right there.
Okay, Kirk Cousins first. That's a solid first guy to get rid of. We don't want to send him to. We gotta send him to like Denver. That's like the one place he might actually like have a good chance at being like more successful in than here. I'm pretty sure you can get a first rounder for like most quarterbacks if you try to send them to Denver, which you almost did actually. So that's pretty good. I think a 6 might not be enough, but we could give it a shot. Nope. Maybe a 4th this year might work. Nope. Okay, we're not going to do a first rounder. We're going to see if there's anything else here we can use. Because, I mean, we know Drew Lock's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Normally I just try to get whoever their, like, quarterback is right now. I mean, we could potentially get some linemen, which you guys definitely would need in real life, too. Let's see how close this is, just for 3 linemen. Holy crap.
Nice.
So that solves the O-line situation.
Very quickly.
Okay, so I don't think Gardner Minshew's the answer here. And I know from simming an offline franchise, neither is Kellen Mond. He's really bad. So how about wide receivers? Maybe D.D. Westbrook could be gotten rid of.
Yeah, I would say that might be expendable.
I mean, he's 27,
I
so...
like his speed,
But, you know, we got Justin Jefferson. And I'm sure, even though this is a rookie, we could probably get some decent, like, stuff for some of these other linemen that aren't going to start for us anymore. So let's see who's all interested in these guys. Oh, Steelers are interested in left tackle. Let's see what we can get for him. Okay, nobody really good at quarterback. I should have kind of expected that, though. Maybe Chase Claypool?
yeah, that's good.
Ooh, we got him.
Noise.
So there we go. We got rid of D.D. Westbrook, and we got a better receiver out of it, too.
Some girl accidentally
Or we're going to get rid of D.D. Westbrook right now.
noticed whenever she opened it.
But now we have someone with 2 higher overall, and I think he might have higher speed, too. Okay, let's see if we can find someone to give us a quarterback so we don't have to draft one.
Good luck, bro. Well, that's what I call.
Obviously, we're not going to get someone like Herbert. And we need to get someone halfway decent because they always try to sign you freaking Colin Kaepernick. We could try Jalen, but I don't think so.
Like, one of the rules is that.
Trey Lance. I mean, we can try a play at Trey Lance, I guess. Okay, I figured that one wasn't going to work. Okay, no on Garoppolo either. That's just a bad idea.
You like good luck.
Zach Wilson we could probably get. I mean, not for that, but that still showed a little bit of promise, which is good. Jordan Love, maybe?
So good.
Maybe Jordan Love? He developed good last year. I just don't know about this year's Madden.
Yeah.
I guess we can try it, though. Here, we got him. Okay. We got rid of some expendable pieces, got a slightly better starter that might actually have a little bit better chance at winning us some football games. Okay, so while we're going through this trade center, we all obviously have like a preferred like drink or whatever that we have on stream. What would you say like your main like? What do you have next to you when you stream that you like drink out of while you're going?
I just started recently going to Arnold Palmer. I'm just trying to get away from looking at someone of caffeine that I already do.
That makes sense. Okay, so I think getting rid of Sheldon Richardson here might be good because we have someone below him that's 3 years younger and only 1 overall less. Everson Griffin might have to go too. He's 33 and he can't dev, so we'll see what we can get. Anthony Barr will keep around because he doesn't regress after year 1, so if he progresses even a little bit, it'll be worth it. And let's go ahead and put Patrick Peterson in here too. I don't think anyone's going to want anyone other than Richardson, it looks like, so we'll just have to roll with that. Okay, what do we need here? Anybody got a good right outside linebacker? Trey Flowers isn't too bad. Preston Smith, but that's also, I don't want to like sit there and try to be the Lions and skin another team alive for all their good players. So maybe Quan Alexander. Okay, that was a straight up swap. That's fair. It's also out of position that we need. Okay, I feel like that's all we really have to get rid of, so we're going to go ahead and just sim game by game as we go through the podcast now, after simming the regular season. Okay, so when you were picking your football team, because surely you had some thought process behind the team you picked. What made you choose Minnesota? Was it because it was like your home team, or what was the factor that decided that you'd be a Vikings fan?
Well, I live in Minnesota, so that's probably the biggest. I mean, I've always been a Vikings fan, so I don't like to admit it sometimes because of.
Hey, Browns fan, thanks for the biddy, and yes, this is Ardum that I'm talking to right now. So.
What's up, Browns fan? Yeah, like I said, sometimes I don't like that. I'm a Vikings fan just because of the cast or something.
Some people it's because of like their colors or like their uniform or whatever. Other people are from Minnesota, so there's a couple different reasons I've heard people say why they're fans of certain teams.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you weren't a Vikings fan, what team do you think you'd be a fan of like right now? If you just decided, I'm done with the Vikings, who'd be your choice of team here?
Look at him and tell me
Yeah, Cleveland born and raised. Yeah, I know you're a Browns fan. I know why you're a Browns fan. Come on. There's no need for you to even explain that to me. Okay, so luckily they didn't sign Kaepernick, so. Okay, so.
I'll probably have to say Tennessee.
Tennessee. Is it because of Derrick Henry? Is it the uniforms, the colors? What would you say would be like the reason why you'd go that way?
Honestly, ever since they moved to Houston, I've always kind of, I don't quote unquote like them, but I've always, kind of liked them, that type of thing. Going back from the Super Bowl loss with New York Knicks and stuff like that, Steve there.
They're a definitely a good like underdog franchise to follow too.
Sure. Well, and now they got it. Stuff like that too.
Okay, so here we are after week 1. It was a 26-21 loss by us, week 1. Let's see how bad we did. Let's see who was the reason we lost that game. Wasn't Jordan Love off the bat at least? Nope, wasn't him. 339 yards, 3 touchdowns. Only sacked once, so that's definitely not why we lost. Dalvin Cook didn't play that well, which is weird. Receiving, Jefferson got a touchdown, Cook got a touchdown, and Alexander Madison got a touchdown, so that's not bad. He only allowed 1 sack, but it doesn't show here. No, wait, never mind, it was Brian O'Neill. Defensively, did we do anything here?
I was playing just fine.
1 sack by Eric Kendricks. No interceptions. There was a miss by Greg Joseph, but that wouldn't have entirely lost us the game. It would just made it a little bit closer. I think it was the kick game, though, because he missed one, and I'm assuming on the last drive that was kind of a deciding factor that we had to get a touchdown on it. So, okay, so with that question being asked, here's another one for you. So, I was talking to the Robs, obviously, I think the week before last, and they told me that you guys know each other outside the community like Twitch and Twitter and stuff. You guys know each other, like, in person wise.
Yeah, we talk about that.
How long have you guys known each other for? Was it more of a recent thing? Was it well before streaming was going on?
I'd say it's been more over the last probably a couple of months before I started streaming. So I would say about 4 or 5 months. But I mean, within the ever since I started streaming,
How'd that, like, come about? Do you guys just happen to have lived in the same city? Did you, like, run into each other, or how did that work?
No, they live totally opposite ends of the country, so not really opposite, but I followed Rob off and on for a while, and then when Chelsea started streaming, I started going into hers more. Because there's streamers, and I knew Rob, helping them all and stuff like that, and then I ended up being a founder of the channel, and then it just kind of kicked off from there, more or less.
Makes sense. Lost week 242-10, by the way. Wasn't even close that time. But we played Arizona, so that's a pretty tough team to play. And we actually do have an injury, so let's see who's out. Oh, we actually have 4 injuries. Everson Griffin, Johnson, Osborne, and another left end. So really only one starter was injured, so that's the good news. And he'll be back next week. So the next question I have for you is, what is your standpoint on, or I'll ask you this first, because I ask everybody this about their specific team. What are your, like, expectations for the Vikings this year?
I try to keep it low. Every time I go high, I get disappointed.
You do it like in Madden when it gives you like 4 wins, that's what you click on? You're like, 4 wins is definitely what we're going to do.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard reports that we could be a sleeper this year. I don't know. I mean, we bolstered our defense.
I mean, they have this habit of falling apart the second half primarily in most seasons, so I think that's what makes it hard to figure out exactly what your expectations could be, because they could start out really, really good and end up going like 0 of like 9 in the last 9 games.
Yeah, it's either that or we make the playoffs and they get the playoffs. It's typical year in, year out,
So with a lot of streamers, obviously you, much like myself, are in a lot of different streams, supporting people in a lot of different ways. If I'm giving you a platform real quick, shout out somebody that in the community or outside of it that you might know that you believe in the ability of as a streamer that you think people should check out.
I would say for talking, I'm thinking like more new ones. Because a lot of people out there around, a lot of people around for a while.
Yeah.
So, well, I would say Jeffrey Short. Really cool dude.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's really cool. He's nice. He's genuine. He appreciates everything.
I still gotta send him that Burrow card I told him I'd send him. Hold on, let me see if I actually have the card over here. Because I have a stack right here. I think it's in this one.
Calling me a liar?
Let me make sure that I can find it. Yeah, see, if you look at the screen, this is the Burrow card I'm going to send to him.
Yes.
And I got a few other ones in here. Like I have a Jimmy Garoppolo card that I think is numbered, and there's a couple of good cards in here. I have a Cooper Kupp card, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the amount of people I meet here, I like that there's a wide variety of different like sports teams that are represented in the community as well.
Oh, for sure.
Because like most of the time you just assume like there's going to be the top dog teams and there's going to be a few scattered like Colts fans or something like that. But I like that I think there's a representative for almost, if not every team in the community now. That's what's cool, because like most of them are really good at like discussing football. Even if like you talk shit about their team, they still can discuss football without it like getting out of hand. Except for the only person that I've really had problems with when it comes to their team is like fucking B. Johnsy. He gets way too serious. Like I'm like, I was talking, I think it was Murphy's stream, about how bad the Jets have been historically, and he brings up the like 2 times Mark Sanchez didn't butt fumble the hell out of their season. It's like, yeah, good job. You made it to 2 AFC Championship games. Now, besides Joe Namath, who else has done anything for you?
There hasn't been much on it, I can tell you that, except for the Giants and that, and that's about it.
Yeah, I can like poke fun at like PTA and almost anybody else about their teams. They just poke fun back, and it's normally really good. But he like just consistently chooses to get into a big argument about stuff that can actually factually be backed up, which is just hilarious to me. Okay, so here's a question that I asked Murphy D in his chat. Now I'm going to ask you. If you had to pick one member of each of your rival teams to basically take, who would be your player from the Lions, Packers, and Bears?
All at once, they had all of their
Jair Alexander.
Makes sense.
What happened?
Very much to choose from.
Who?
Very much to choose from the Lions.
I mean, I would pick, if it were me, T.J. Hawkinson probably would be who I would pick if I were you.
Yes.
He's basically one of the, like, maybe 2 okay players on that team. And then...
I was gonna... Really bad. I'll do a little different. I'll take,
Ragnow, Frank Ragnow.
Yeah, I could probably take him too.
It was like him or Hawkinson are like the 2 guys that you definitely could name that would be really good on the team. But other than that, it's like most of them are either young or not good.
Right.
And then, how about the Bears?
I would go off the wall here. I would take Gantz and I'd take Fields.
That's a good choice. You know you want to replace Kirk Cousins with a different quarterback,
Yep.
and he would be on a rookie contract if you took him. So.
And I heard that we were trying to trade for him as well.
Hey, Papa Fausti, how you doing, man?
Fausti.
Okay, so let me answer the question myself too. Obviously, me being a Chargers fan, I'd have to pick someone from the Chiefs, Raiders, and Broncos. I'm going to start with the Broncos. If I were to have to pick anybody on that team, it would probably be Bradley Chubb. I would go Von Miller, but he's obviously significantly older than most of the rest of the team. And Bradley Chubb will definitely last a lot longer and can develop into probably the same caliber person as Von Miller is with a little bit more time. With the Raiders, I would go with probably... I'm going to go with Darren Waller. He's a step up from Jared Cook, who we have right now. and is obviously a little bit younger too, so but a little bit more time to develop in over someone like Jared Cook. And with the Chiefs, I would choose probably the Honey Badger. Yeah, him and Derwin being the patrolling safeties. That would be insane. It's like I could have went Tyreek Hill, but it's like I already have Keenan Allen. We already have emerging wide receivers. We already have Darren Waller. We already have Austin Eckler. We don't really need another weapon. And like the only thing you could probably take from the Chiefs is like Joe Thuney in terms of offense, because I won't need Mahomes because I have Herbert. And then defensively, I'm just like, well, you have, I think it's Frank Clark. I'm like, but we already have a pretty good D-line. We already have good linebackers, and the Chiefs don't really have good linebackers anyways. Which narrowed it down to a young, average cornerback core or basically Tyrann Mathieu. And I'm like, it has to be him because teaming him up with Derwin is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, we're already 0-3. We lost to Seattle 21-14.
Which is shocking.
And then we have 3 players, thankfully, coming back from injuries, which is pretty good. But let's see if we can finally get a win against the Browns. Probably not, because the Browns are OP in this game. Especially in Sim. And shocker, we lost 21-24. That's not actually that bad.
Wow.
Alright, let's go ahead and sim one more game, and then we'll get to the next question. Against the Lions, come on. We can't lose to the Lions, right?
Yeah, we can.
If we lose to the Lions, I'm just going to sim the rest of the season. Thank God we won. I didn't want to do that. 24-14 is the final score in that one. Okay, so my next question to you is, what other games besides like sports games do you play when you're like off stream?
Besides sports games?
Yeah.
I'm a big Fallout guy.
Fallout?
Yep.
Fallout's good.
Warzone. Call of Duty as well. That stuff, obviously. I said, don't follow you for lots of follow for hours. So much stuff. I can't.
Here, I'll just show you what's like literally stacked up right here, because how my setup is I have a fan on that side. If you're looking at the screen, you obviously can see where I'm pointing. And then on that side over there, I have one of those little like fridge things that hold like 4 or 5 cans of soda or whatever it is, and is tall enough to put like normal sized monsters in. So next to me, on top of that, I have Final Fantasy VII, which will be finished tomorrow, I think, on stream is the plan. Then I have Uncharted Lost Legacy, which I played 4 days ago on stream.
Never played the game.
Then I have Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown. I played like the first one of these ones I played was, I think, 3 or 4 on the PS2.
Okay.
Then we have Life is Strange Before the Storm, which I think you saw me stream that one day. I think you were in there for that. Dead by Daylight, which I have to talk to Chelsea about playing this game with her on stream this week. She got me into that. Last of Us Part 2.
It's not a bad game to watch. I'm watching it all the time, honestly. I give a crap all the time when she plays it, so.
Wait, Last of Us or Dead by Daylight?
Dead by Daylight.
Resident Evil 4. And I have Rise of the Tomb Raider collection, or 20th anniversary. which comes with the art book from the game. See? Artwork. And then I think it looks like there's a code right here. That might not be a code actually, but there's that. Guess what? We're only halfway through the stack. Then we got.
I got into was even played the Batman series, like Arkham City, Arkham.
Yeah, I actually
stuff like that.
have, I think, Arkham Knight, I think, up in the cabinet.
Yeah, I got to play most of the game.
Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, which I've played Beyond Two Souls on stream twice, and I have not played Heavy Rain yet. So I literally haven't played that at all, so, you know, that'll be something new I can enjoy with chat from start to finish. MLB The Show, obviously.
Yep.
Last of Us Remastered. I have Maximum Football 2020, which, in case you don't know this game, which I don't know if you do or not, it was actually developed by Doug Flutie.
Oh, really?
Yep, Doug Flutie's name's on it. So, Resident Evil Revelations. You can get this Maximum Football 2020, by the way, for like $20 on in GameStop. It's definitely a different type of football game. You probably want to like sim that one more so than try to play through it because it's kind of frustrating. Resident Evil 5, Watch Dogs Legion, and WWE 2K20. And by the way, this is only like, I think there was, hold on, let me just count the cases. There, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 17 games sitting on there. Normally the Madden case is on top because we're only playing that. And I think I have at minimum like 25 up in my cupboard over there, maybe more. And then I have downloaded games too. So all the games of which I plan on playing on stream at one point.
Yeah.
Maybe not completing them all on stream because that would take forever. But I think I finished one game on stream, which was Detroit Becoming Human. And then Final Fantasy VII will be the next one I finish from start to finish on stream too, which I'm planning to do tomorrow. And I think I'm going to do Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls will be interchangeable, so I can try to complete both of those on stream too. But, you know, I'm going to have that mixed in with, like, I showed you all the games that are sitting right there. Those will probably be the main ones I play, along with maybe a few from the cabinet that aren't over here.
I try to get too many because then I just sit there and click those. I never get around to playing them. They get too engrossed in the other games.
Right? Okay, so now we're getting on to the next thing here, which, what do you do for work? And was what you doing for work always something you wanted to do, or did it kind of just become that?
I am a vendor, or I work in retail. I work for pets. I worked for Colt previously for that for about 14 years. I've been working in the soda industry for about 6 years. November 18 years this November I've been working in the soda industry. It kind of actually came about. My uncle's friend I got into golfing with, that would golf with my uncle on the weekends. I was golfing with him one day, and I got out of school and I was looking for something to do. So I didn't go to college. I didn't really like school to begin with. And he was opening for the position at Coke, and that's how I got into Coke. Pretty much the rest is history from there.
Well, that's pretty good actually. Okay, so now if we going back to the rebuild real quick, we are now 2-4 after winning 2 straight games. Which the division's actually not that far out of reach right now. We beat the Panthers. I think it was really close, but I don't remember what the score was. So let's see how we do against the Cowboys. real quick here. Hey, we actually beat the Cowboys 35-28. Suck it, Adam. If you watch this on YouTube, Adam, if you see this on YouTube, Adam, yes, screw you and the Cowboys. Ooh, 4 touchdowns by Jordan Love. Rushing, Alexander Madison got the touchdown for us on the ground. Let's see, Chase Claypool had 2 touchdowns for us. Adam Thielen had 1, and Dalvin Cook had 1. We didn't allow... Okay, we allowed 2 sacks. I thought we didn't allow any for a second, because I was hitting sort by new, and it wasn't showing me any, so... 1 sack by Pierce, and then half sack by Griffin and Quan Alexander. No picks, unfortunately. No tackles for loss, and no need to even go for field goals. So that was a pretty good clean win. Now we have Baltimore. This is going to be fun. 42-3. I wouldn't doubt that, to be honest. It's a very probably a very reliable score to base this off of, I think. If we score more than twice, that'll be an achievement in my book. Oh, we lost 28-35. Much more competitive than either of us thought that would be.
How did that happen? My question.
I wonder if we held Lamar Jackson from running all over us and he had to beat us with his arm, or vice versa. Maybe we shut him down in the passing game and he did beat us on his feet. I guess we'll find that out right now, because I'm as curious as you are. And, we both expected this to be like a 42-3 or like 35-6 or something like that. Okay, Jordan Love did throw 3 picks. This was actually his first like really bad game this season, I think. He had 3 touchdowns too, though, so there's that. Rushing wise, okay, let's see what the Ravens did. Did he run all over us on the ground? No? Gus Edwards and then Patrick Ricard got touchdowns. So I wonder if this was just a back and forth game with just a few mistakes on it. Because he threw, Lamar Jackson threw 2 interceptions too, so. Receiving wise, Claypool and Thielen got our touchdowns, as well as Irv Smith. Blocking, 3 sacks. Defensively, we didn't sack him once though. We didn't. It doesn't show the picks, which is weird. There you go. It just took a minute. Patrick Peterson, Quan Alexander had the interceptions. No missed field goals. Yeah, it just looks like we made that one extra mistake that they didn't make, and that's what decided the game there. Okay, so now, obviously there was a lot of talk about the Aaron Rodgers situation throughout the offseason, because why wouldn't there be? In your opinion, if Rodgers would have left, what would be the state of that division? Because obviously with Rodgers there, it probably makes it pretty conceivable that they'd just win the division again. But if he would have left, what would have been the chances of each team taking the division crown, in your opinion?
The division would have been up in the air for sure. Honestly, I think it wouldn't give him Minnesota and Chicago a better chance to win the division, obviously.
Yeah, they got the strongest defense out of the remaining 3.
Yeah, if it's in that Rodgers, I would say not be just because I'm a Vikings fan. I honestly probably would think the Vikings would be the favorite on the Rodgers.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to sim this game. I think that the Chargers lose this game because they're 1-7, and Madden hates the Chargers, so They literally hate them. Like, I did like a rebuild like last year on stream. It took like 10 years just for us to make a playoff run. Oh look, they lost by 14. Totally not what I was expecting to happen. Even though, let's face it, I think if when they play each other this year in real life, I think the Chargers win that game. I feel like if everyone's healthy, especially with Derwin back there again. I don't know. I've noticed that the last 2 seasons without Derwin, we've just been horrible defensively. But when Derwin's in there, like, the defense is completely different. But we didn't really do anything to stop Herbert, though. 336 yards, 3 touchdowns for him. Vikings, we had 1 passing. Who the fuck is Kini Nwanguru? Who the fuck is that? Whoever he is, he just scored 2 touchdowns, and Madison had 1. No idea.
He's a rookie.
He's a rookie. He just, I guess you guys drafted him. Don't know why, because you already had at least 1 reliable backup already on the team, so. Rushing, or receiving wise, Justin Jefferson got the touchdown. Blocking, it doesn't look like we allowed any we didn't allow any sacks that game. That probably helped with winning that game. 1 sack by Michael Pierce. No interceptions, obviously. No field goals needed. Yeah, so we just guess both teams played mistake-free football, and we just scored more. Okay, so we're at 4-5 on the rebuild now, which is normally when Vikings fans start deciding that this is their year to actually do something, I'm pretty sure. And let's see how the rest of the season goes now that we have a little bit of confidence, and we're playing against Green Bay, so I think that's going to be a loss. Aaron Rodgers is going to throw like 8 touchdowns or something crazy like that. No, we actually beat him. Holy crap.
Damn. What was the score?
It was, I think it said 24-14, 27-14. 27-14. What happened here? Okay, so Jordan Love had a touchdown and a pick. Looks like they put him in garbage. Rodgers didn't throw any picks. Maybe this was just another time when 2 rushing touchdowns by Alexander and a touchdown by Justin Jefferson. This might have just been one of the few times when, despite allowing 3 sacks, we just played better, apparently. Unless they had some missed field goals or something that they're not showing, that we haven't gotten to yet. No, they didn't kick. Okay, so it's weird for sure that we just won, like, 2 of our wins were against teams that we definitely should not have been able to beat, with it being the Cowboys and the Packers.
Plus it was at home too. I don't know if that makes any difference in the sim or not.
Yeah, at home. Well, I guess that might have played a factor. The few times the Vikings do win, either Rodgers is injured or we're at home.
Yeah, we haven't won very many games at Lambeau as of lately.
Okay, San Francisco. If we win something here, there's like a glitch in the system or some shit. Okay, we lost to Niners, so it's fine. I was like, if we just beat the Cowboys, Packers, and Niners, there's something wrong here.
Maybe the Vikings got good.
Maybe the Vikings got good, though we just lost to Lions. Okay, got him the rest of the season. Not even bothering going to watch the rest of this season. We're done. It's over. If you lose, basically this season, if you lose to the Lions, Texans, or the Eagles, you have major problems.
Yeah, we all know that Watson's not going to be playing.
Okay, so the next question for you is, obviously we all know about the drama concerning an emote that happened a few months ago. And this is my, like, when I ask this question, this is more me seeing what people's thought processes are that are outside the issue, to see what, if it was in the same situation, what they thought was right. So obviously the question is, if you had someone make you an emote, but it's your design and they made it, who owns that emote?
I would say, I would say both.
You would say both. Okay, so you're in the same lane as Mamory is. Kind of belongs to both of them.
They made it for you, but it's their artwork. So, yeah, I mean,
for me, it's the same thing. Like, the person who designed it, obviously it's theirs, but the person who created it, they can also have a stake of claim to it.
Yeah.
That whole situation, I feel like, could have definitely been dealt with a little bit better by both parties, for sure. But sometimes that's just, like Mamory said, sometimes that's just the way it goes. Stuff goes wrong, and there's not really much you can do about it. By the way, we finished the season 9-8. 9-8, and we're tied with the Packers, so they probably beat us in the last game that was played. We beat the Bears 28-18, so that's a good final game there. Let's go to the off season, and we can check the end of year stats from there, and we can see who we want to re-sign, and we'll see what free agencies there are while we're asking the next question. So there are obviously some sub communities within the bigger community, like the stream teams and stuff that are around, such as, Stone Cold Podcast, or the Stone Cold community. The Bare Knuckle, I think it is the one Fritzy's in. There's obviously the Council, the Foundation. There's a lot of subgroups within the community. I think the Inner Circle is supposed to be coming back too. What would you say, when it comes to communities and sub-communities, what would you say is your favorite, I guess, sub-community in this case? Or, instead of that, what word best describes each, sub-community that exists within this one?
My turn now.
I know, that's a really tough question.
Yeah, it is. I mean, because every community is different. So, it's, you use the word family is one for some. You can use the word, it's just, I mean, also you can really pick one word that would describe them. Because they vary so much.
Well, obviously I had to toss some curveballs in there in terms of,
yeah.
can't make them all easy.
Right.
Okay, so the Super Bowl was won by the Arizona Cardinals. Lamar Jackson got MVP, Urban Meyer got Coach of the Year, Lamar Jackson got Offensive Player of the Year, Melvin Ingram got Defensive Player, Justin Fields got Offensive Rookie, and Zaven Collins got Defensive Rookie of the Year. Okay, let's see if we have any dev-ups, because I think we're supposed to have them the week after the Super Bowl this year. So let's see if we got anybody that went up a dev trade or anything. Okay, obviously Justin Fields, I believe, just got a dev up. Throw accuracy, awareness, wild card. I guess he may have gotten it dev'd up by stats alone, because it doesn't show that it got a dev up. Because he definitely wasn't a star when we first started. So
No, he wasn't.
Either that or he ended the dev trade at some point during one of the weeks we simmed. Okay, so let's go ahead and get through the re-signing of players. And while we're re-signing players, here's another question for you. So, we obviously all watch other things other than Twitch, I'm sure. There's probably some movies that you watch, or like you watch Netflix or something like that, I'm sure. What would you say your favorite, like currently, your favorite show, TV show that's currently like airing right now?
Honestly, there is no show I'm watching right now. Because if I'm watching TV, it's 40 minutes. There's really no show that I'm watching.
Okay, what are one of your favorite movies that you watched recently, and why?
Holy shit. That's another one. Never watched much movies either.
I don't watch much movies either.
I'm kind of lame.
Okay, so that's dead end question. What would you say your favorite? Okay, what would you say your favorite like comfort food is?
My favorite what? Comfort food?
Yeah.
I eat so much pizza. So much pizza.
I actually have pizza sitting over there on the counter right now. Okay, obviously Harrison Smith and Patrick Peterson can both go. They're too old. Same thing with Everson Griffin. Alexander is 28, so I guess that's your call. Do you think we should re-sign him? I guess we should look at his stats first before we make the decision, though. He's 77. His overall is awful. Well, he had one pick, which is basically his career high. He had the most tackles for loss in a season. Hey, what's up, Stoney? He didn't have any sacks, but the rest of his stats, I think, are career highs other than tackle or other than sacks. So, recovering my geyser. What's he recovering from? Was he doing like a drunk stream or some shit? Maybe it's Weekend League though. That might be what he's talking about. Is Weekend League.
Drinking, I'm playing Weekend League.
Drunk Weekend League! Yes!
No, it's just Weekend League gave me drunk because of the Weekend League.
Last night, chat decided to try for a 24-hour stream. Okay. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. That's fair. That's a fair reason to have to recover. I didn't make it the entire time. He did last 19 hours though.
That's impressive.
That's really impressive.
I don't know how long I can go.
I don't even think, even if I had the internet connection, I don't think I'd be able to stay on for that long. I have this other stuff that I'd have to go do, and then like they'd be staring at fucking Ahsoka behind me the entire time I'm gone. So. But impressive feat there, Stoney. I wish they had an achievement for that. Like one of the goals one of the goals they had for like, oh, you gotta do this, this, and this. I wish that was one of the goals. I realized after 12 hours I should have drank lots more water than alcohol. Yeah, that's accurate. That's definitely something you should have done there.
But that doesn't make it any more fun, then, does it?
He also has a point. He says no regrets, though. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
No regrets.
No regrets. Okay, so I think we got to get rid of this kicker. 10 for 16 isn't that good.
I don't even know. Is that the kicker that the Vikings have this year? Because I have no idea what a kicker is.
Well, this guy, it shows that guy's being. Oh, Stoney's in here. Stoney, do you know who your guys' kicker is this year?
Apple Watch is the Vikings.
For Vikings kicker, that is okay. He did good point for Vikings. That is an impressive season, actually.
That's amazing, right?
I mean, I guess I kind of have to re-sign him though, because I mean, Otherwise, we'd have to probably spend twice as much to bring in a better kicker.
You know, bring back Blair Walsh.
Nobody wants another doink situation. Joseph is their starter at this time, from what I have heard. We're rolling with Bailey, though. Well, Stoney said it was their starter, and I'd rather pay him... I guess we could pay him a little bit more money than that. 1.53 mil for one season. Alright, that's good. I would have to pay double that on the open market to find someone better, so... And that's it. We're getting rid of a lot of talent, but I don't see a reason to keep them because a lot of them underperformed, so... Or they're old and is just going to regress more. Okay, let's head to free agency and see how much money we have left, because I'm stupid and didn't shut off salary cap, so... It makes the rebuild more fun with salary cap, though, to be fair. Okay, let's see who's here for us to snag. Do I even have to think about signing Davante Adams? Like, do I have to think about it, or do I just go for it?
Go for it.
This is the development trait. This player has his own ability.
Let's see how far down I can take this and still have a good offer on him, though. That's 90, so we can bring that down a little bit more. That takes 20 mil of our salary cap right now, so we gotta at least pull some of that down so we can maybe sign a few more players. But yeah, Davante Adams definitely has to come to our team for sure. I think I'm going to try to make it to where it's like exactly like maybe 101 million. Yeah, that's an 80. That's a good enough offer, I think.
You could also in turn trade one of the wide receivers that we got to that against that, Davante Adams.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Okay, nobody in the halfback core would be better or more suited for the offense, I think, than Madison, because he actually did good getting touchdowns. So
yeah, I think Aurora was decent.
I guess if we somehow don't get Davante Adams despite being the only offer, I guess we could
spend anywhere. I think it'd go on defense.
Yeah, I think we're good on offensively for sure. We have Bull, we have that guy. Yeah, we have at minimum 75s across the board in terms of linemen, so we're good there. Olivier Vernon, don't really need him. Sheldon Richardson, we literally traded him, so we don't need him. Do we bring Joseph back, though? Nah. Not worth it. I just thought about that. We do need a right end.
Yeah, because you let Anderson Griffin go in.
I don't know, we might be able to draft a right end that's pretty good, though. I've noticed that about the draft classes in this year's Madden, is there's a lot more like left and right end talents. So we'll just save that for when we go to the draft. Same with left outside, to be fair, so we'll probably save that for it too. Okay, middle linebackers specifically are hard to develop, and we do have Keanu Neal sitting here at a 79 overall. And he's star dev, so I think we gotta throw an offer out for him. Maybe see if we can take down the offer just a little bit here. Okay, no, we'd be placed below the Dolphins here if we left it there. 96 points. We barely get the edge over them there. How about you, Joseph? 20. Oh wait, he's 24. He might be cheaper to get too. 92 points. That puts us in second. Yeah, I think this guy's probably the better option. More competition, but younger, and it leaves us with more salary cap than if we would have signed the other guy. So, Melvin Ingram, not really anybody here at right outside linebacker, but we still have Quan Alexander, so we don't really need anyone there. Corner, J.C. Jackson. Bryce Callahan, Jason Verrett. A lot of older guys. Brian Poole might be a good option, though. Justin Coleman. Well, there's 4 offers for Jackson, so we'd have to compete for his services. Whereas Brian Poole's an 82, 29. We're going to go for Jackson, though. He's 26 years old, so we'll just pitch him the rest of our... Okay, never mind. We can't afford him. Can't afford him right now. Okay, he puts us 10K. We gotta look at salaries and try to free up some more cap space. Because we have like 2 offers out. And it's like, oh, no, never mind. Obviously, we had gotten rid of Kirk Cousins, which definitely took a lot of our cap away by doing that. But we also probably would have still sucked even with him playing instead of who we have, so... Okay, so while we're getting into the salaries, with the current... Where are you? The team salaries. Okay. So, in terms of, like, streamers who... The big name streamers, you know, Fendler, Up and Adam, those type of guys. Who do you feel like you spend the most time in chat with? In terms of, like, if you have multiple people tabbed, who's the one that you kind of leave up as the main person you watch while just checking into the other ones? Because they all stream at pretty different times, so...
Yeah, I would have to say there's streaming. It's probably still the gaming, both of them. You know, like in the morning, we'll start on Adam's stream, and then I finish off in Rob's. If I'm on my phone, so I can only pick one, obviously. Then during the day, you know, whenever Chelsea stream that, we're up all the time. Other than that, Murphy D is another one I tend to have up quite a bit.
Yeah, fellow Vikings fan too, so that's a double plus there. Battle Chase is another one. Yeah, I had him up for a little bit after one of my Final Fantasy streams. He's pretty fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, he's a cool dude.
Okay, so I think we just freed up about 10 mil, so we should be able to go after one of those 2 corners now.
Go after Chase. Unless he's
Yeah.
too expensive.
And then I can, like, if we still have the money, I can go for another right guard, because I had to cut our right guard, but he was a 75 overall, so...
Oh.
I cut the right guard, and then I cut our punter and one other person, because our punter was like a 69 overall, so... we can easily get rid of him.
Luch is another one I think I'll do quite a bit.
Okay, so he leaves us with 3 mil just pitching that offer, which does put us in first place. So that does give us the opportunity to go ahead and sign a right guard. Was it right guard? Yeah, right guard. There's the one we got rid of, and there's not really any better options than him, so we might go ahead and just try to get Lamp here. He's probably one of the cheaper options that puts our salary cap at 0. But that doesn't get us anywhere near getting the job done. How about left guard? Anybody competing for a ton of left guards here? Okay, it looks like we're going to draft a left guard. Left or right guard to put in the new guard spot. Okay, let's see who we get. But yeah, I've lurked in their channels. I also lurked in like Mazes, Retro Yimmies, Buffaloes.
Yimmy's hard for me to think because it's so old, but so old, it's hard for me to hear that.
Okay, so we got Chris Barnes. We got Devontae Adams. And we got J.C. Jackson. Those are big gets for both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And we actually somehow end up with $17 million again. Don't know how that happened.
Well, it's one of the main outfits you can sign, obviously.
Let's go ahead and get J.K. Scott, I guess. Fill out the punter spot there. I think unless we find someone in the draft, I think Love's going to be our quarterback. I got to look at his stats and see how good he actually did last season, but if what I think happened is what happened, then I think we're good to go there.
Is there any other positions that have like a low tier overall that you can maybe try and upgrade a little bit?
Perhaps. Oh, I have an idea. This is going to be something that we might actually be able to get this done because I did it with another team I was rebuilding and I was able to do it quite easily. Let's see if we can try to trade for Kyle Pitts. We're gonna do a challenge here and see if we can trade for Pitts or not. 87 overall. Much better than who we have right now. And he's on a rookie contract. Let's see if the left guard can help us get Kyle Pitts here. That's already more than halfway. Just for a left guard.
You could throw, I would say, once you try swapping tight ends and throw under Smith as well.
Yeah, we could do that. Is it green interest for Irv Smith though? Yes, it is yellow interest. Do we just do this, or...
If it works, maybe throw on pick and see if that will go over.
I just realized our quarterback core is, like, terrible. Outside of J.C. Jackson, who isn't showing up yet on my trade block, or on my trade options, we don't really have anybody there. Strong safety, we got nobody. Left outside, nobody.
Might be another position left in your agency, maybe get another corner.
DT, left guard. Okay, so I think Irv Smith and Reisner should be enough to get us there, I think. Not quite, but a pick will definitely be enough. Or we could... Huh?
I would just say fourth rounder, maybe?
Yeah, fourth rounder should be enough to get this, I think. Year 2, and not quite. Third next year, maybe? Perhaps. Not quite. So it'll probably definitely take a second rounder. There you go. That's a good trade. Okay, now we can look at... We can definitely go ahead and see if there's any left guards or right guards. We can just sign whichever one's like a decent overall that's like still somewhat young, so we can still maybe develop them into something.
Maybe a corner as well.
Probably, yeah, we definitely need to get at least one more corner. Can't expect J.C. Jackson to do it all himself. Brian Poole. Yeah, let's go him. He's probably the best option here. Go ahead and just sign him for that one season. Go ahead and just overpay him just to make sure we get him. Strong safety we would have to look at too. Let's go with left guard because they're all really old. Connor Williams. 73 overall, 25.
He's asking for quite a bit.
Let's go ahead and toss him this offer. See how much. Yeah, the Dolphins are fucking bidding the hell out of these. Because that barely got us over, and that was 102 bid there. Is there a right guard we can throw in that spot? Let's get Kyle Long just so we have at least one guard on the team. save a little bit by doing that. 85, okay. That's not too bad. I guess we might be able to draft a left guard that's better than the 63 we have, so... Yeah, strong safeties, they were significantly too old. They just regress. So I think we're going to draft a strong safety. Let's see if we get who we tried to get here, though. And of course, I have another notification that Up and Ardum got another video up too. Okay, pool rejected, but we did get Kyle Long and J.K. Scott. We might have to just roll with shit corners. Okay, never mind. We didn't actually get J.C. Jackson. Went to Pittsburgh instead. Thought we got him. So we have no corner signed yet. That's not good.
I thought he said that he went to us.
Thought he did too. It looked like it said accepted when I did it, so... Guess we kind of have to bring Mackenzie Alexander back now then. We don't really have any options right now that are above him that aren't too much older than he is. I was going to try to bring in Bryce Callahan, too. He's not too bad. He's not asking really that much. Oh, never mind. That put us above the salary cap. Can I do this without going above the salary cap and still having a pretty competitive offer though? 55. No. That's a no. Okay, let's just hope Mackenzie Alexander comes back. And we can at least maybe draft a corner that's decent. And I guess after we're done with one more season of simming, we'll go ahead and I can show you what my MUT team looks like. Okay, Mackenzie Alexander does sign, so I at least have one subpar corner to use now. Okay, let's go ahead and see what the draft holds for us here. We're probably going to be in like the middle of the pack though. Pause, skip to next user. Yeah, we're halfway down the board, that's not too bad. Now, if there's nobody that we think is going to actually be an instant impact player, we can probably go ahead and... Yeah, because I'm not going to draft a guard this high. There's a corner there. Want to make sure there's not any of these corners are ones that we can let slip. That bench press is good, but he's also not a position that actually needs strength. Okay, this guy's a late first round talent. Has first in vent jump, second in broad jump, and third in bench press. So he might be good to target a little bit later. He's second in speed. How about you? Yeah, I think we're definitely going to have to trade down. I obviously didn't put Auto Scout on, so we don't even know anything about the players, so that was my bad. But at the same time, none of the corners look good enough for us to draft, so... And there was no strong safeties in the top portion of the board. Okay, trade to 29 from 18, trade back 6 spots, and pick up a second round. No, never mind, that's 2023. We can trade back 3 spots and get a third next year. We can trade back 8 spots and get a third this year and a fifth this year from the Jets.
I would do that.
Yeah, that looks like it's the best option here. And if the strong safety or corner is there, I think that's the ones we're going to go with, one of those two. there just wasn't enough here at the time, at least talent-wise, for us to warrant picking somebody this high up. Okay, DT's here. Not too bad there. There's a halfback. 4.41 on the 40-yard dash. Not too bad. We already have Alexander, though, so it wouldn't make much sense for us to get him. Left tackle, no, nothing good there. Corner? Okay, straight cone's decent, but everything else isn't. Let's check strong safety. This would be a bit of a reach. We can get whatever one of these safeties next round. This guy looks like he'd be the best of them, so we might go with him. What other positions of need do we have? We have good enough wide receivers. Let's see what type of tight ends we have here. We just got Pitts, so there's not really a high need for one, I guess. Wow, there's really nothing in this draft we can really grab early on, it looks like. I guess we're going to take this DT. 73 overall normal dev, not too bad. Definitely a piece we can develop behind the two DTs we do have. Okay, next user. Let's see where this gets us. Okay, now back to the questions here. With the current climate, how has it changed, like, what your job is? Like, during the pandemic, did you have to work during it? Did you have decreased? Did you get any decreased hours or anything like that? That's a pretty lucky thing there, because obviously a lot of people didn't get that option.
Yeah, retail, I think, was one of those that stayed strong to it. I think we were actually up a little bit during the pandemic, just because of the two, a little bit more as far as, you know, other non-necessity stuff, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, we're going to get this strong
safety.
safety.
Especially the ones that were still working, you know, the ones that weren't working, obviously, might have been story, but...
That's fair. I think that's probably a good thing, though. I mean, a lot of people obviously didn't even get to work normal hours, let alone, you know, extra ones. So that's definitely a good thing. We're going to send to the end of the draft because there's not much talent here. Our first three picks, like, the highest one was a 73, so I don't think there's much talent there. Okay, so are you an Android user or an iPhone user? iPhone, yeah, I actually am a user of both, but, like, my iPhone doesn't always connect me to PlayStation Network, so I have an Android I use for, like, streaming and stuff. Also, when I'm on the iPhone, it actually has, like, a 30-second delay on where the actual, like, streamer is. But I have a iPhone 11, so it's actually charging right here and is all the way charged. So when I'm done streaming, I can put my SIM card back into that. Okay, what would you say? Are you a PlayStation player or are you a Xbox player?
PlayStation, I got PS5.
PS5, nice. I do like with the PS5 and the PS4 right now, and I think it's the same thing with the Xbox. I like how Madden 22, the trade block and auction blocks are both the same. And, like, you can trade with people who have a PS5. I felt like they did that so they wouldn't have to program extra steps to make sure that people are directed towards one or the other when their both should just be the same anyways. Okay, so currently, what's your team? Are you doing a theme team or just the best available player at each position?
first I started doing the best available players. Obviously, I didn't want to do that. As I started gathering players, I kind of grew. Obviously, I do Vikings in but I'm moving around my Vikings this year. I kind of still lean towards the Giants. I mean, I already got Saquon and I got Strahan already, so I got some top.
You already have like the foundational pieces to both sides, so.
Yeah, so it's like, so I've never really done a Giants game ever, so I figured it would be just something different just to try, half and half of that, just to not say it affects me very much. Just to allow people to just sentiment all the time. It's just like, that's.
So right now I'm doing best available player as well, currently, but it is going to shift over to a Chargers themed team. Because like right now I already have the 84 Herbert, which hopefully he gets a power up at some point in the early part of the season. And then, watch, I'll show you my team, and I actually have a couple of the Charger pieces already on the roster. I'm keeping like any silver or gold Charger players I try to keep as well in case I have to put them in while I wait for like the better legends and stuff to come out that have chems for them.
Well, you also have to do that as well too, so you're going to need those other 50% anyway, so
yeah, exactly. So, with my offense, I have Herbert, obviously, LT, which I need a little more training to power up. I have Keenan Allen, Corey Linsley, Brian Bulaga, and I have Hunter Henry, who obviously does get Charger chems. And that's it for offense in terms of Charger players. But you can see my roster right here, so it's not a bad roster at all.
No.
I need a left tackle, but other than that, everyone's going to be elite on this side of the ball as soon as I get a left tackle. That's an elite. And then here's what my defense looks like. I obviously have Nasir, I have Derwin, I have Sayao, Linval, and J.J. Watt. Not J.J. Watt. He's not a Charger player. Who was I thinking of? Oh, Tillery. So I have a couple Chargers on each side of the ball. Obviously, with Sayao, he's already an 84. With Herbert, he's already an 84. With, I think with Tomlinson, I can almost get his next upgrade. Like, I'm only upgrading the Charger. I upgraded, like, J.J. Watt, too, but it's mainly the Charger players I've done actual, like, upgrades for in terms of putting actual points into them. Because I know that they're going to be part of my long-term roster, so. Obviously, I like spend my coins pretty, like, almost constantly, because I want to try to pull cards as opposed to just buying them. And obviously, like, with, like, Linval Joseph's power-up, which is currently what I'm searching for, it's like 14K right now. And for 14K, I can literally get a Pro Fantasy pack. I might pull him, and I get, 5 cards even if I don't, with one being a gold, so.
You're also gold too.
Yeah, I think it's because Linval did get a card from one of the Superstar cards, right? I think that's why his power-up's so expensive, at least. Thought he did. There might have been somebody else then. Or maybe he's supposed to be getting a card here pretty soon. Scored 2+ touchdowns in the first half. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do this challenge live while we're talking. It's the last one of the Tyron Smith ones, and I'm going to be getting, I think, 2 packs when I beat this one. I'll be getting the one from the stars, and I'll be getting the one from completing all his challenges. So, and what I do with the Nat players is, unless they're ones that I can actually, like, use on my roster, I basically just quick sell them. I might keep them if they're 80s now, because I can get one of the team builders. Because I always have enough golds, and even if not, I just have to buy a game changer pack, and I get enough golds to do it, so. So,
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us today. I'm the coach, and this is Madden Ultimate
I know,
Team.
right? Like, you can go into almost any pack and you're at least guaranteed one. And most of the time you end up getting at least two, so... Was this a rushing or was this a passing one? I need to make sure I'm doing the right thing before we go into this. Score 2+ touchdowns first half, pass for 80 yards. Okay, so I don't have to score the touchdowns through the air, I just have to score 2 of them. What would you say are, like, because obviously you and I talked a little bit about this before I went live. What would you say are the most, like, annoying challenges to do? Yeah, the forge ones. I hate the ones where it's like, oh, you need to get a sack, right? And it feels like on those ones where you have to get one are the ones that you can't seem to get.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Keenan Allen with a touchdown reception from Justin Herbert. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying.
What's like super annoying to me is like I was getting sacks with bronze players, and now I have elite players and they can't get past the line of scrimmage. Like, really? I have a fucking, I have the 85, I think it is, Quentin Williams, I think his name is. And he literally, like, pushes through people on most challenges, but then I go to one where it's like, oh, you need a sack, and I can't get one. It's like, they need to fix that. They need to not make it to where those challenges, it's obvious they're trying to screw you out of them. Yeah, because, like, and then it's like the one with Burrow on. I think it's the Forge one with Burrow in it. It's like, it doesn't matter if I send 6, 4, 8, if I use the lineman, it doesn't matter. He always seems to let the ball go just as I'm about to reach him. Like in a full-blown, like, sprint, he's able to get away from who I am, no matter who it is. I could be chasing him with the fastest middle linebacker in the game, and he'd still somehow get away before I can get to him. But yeah, I like the challenges, or I dislike the challenges in Forge for sure. And I dislike them when they make it blatantly obvious they are, like, make their team when, like, way better when they shouldn't be. The ones I like the most are, like, pick up X amount of yards on this amount of plays, get a touchdown on this amount of plays, or whatever the case may be. Because those ones you have the most control out of. But when it's like, oh, get X amount of yards and this many touchdowns, it's like you can easily score one, but then they obviously convert on like every 3rd and 4th down, and then just you run out of time, or they end up scoring and not supposed to allow them to. Those are the hardest ones for me personally to complete, when it's like, don't, score twice, don't allow them to score, whatever the case may be. And it's like, I try not to let them score, but for whatever reason, they pick up 3rd and fucking 20s like they're 3rd and 2,
Escaping the pressure right. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now
yeah, you get them down to like 4th and like 38 or some shit, and they're like, oh, you thought we were going to stop us? No, we're just going to throw an 80-yard bomb and beat you. And then, like, I think the hardest part about the early going of MUT is getting, like, power-up players and stuff, or getting tarts from other players in general. Even in this community is a little difficult, because, with something like Linval Joseph's where it's 14K, it's very hard for anybody to, like, want to get rid of that card, because they can just sell it. So, like, early on, you kind of have to just hope you pull what you need, or you have the coins to get what you need. I just remembered I have the full half I can do this, so I can go ahead and punt this. But it's like, I never pulled a Linval Joseph power up, and now I kind of wish I did, because then I'd be able to power up his player right now.
A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Here comes the Browns offense back
Yeah,
onto the
definitely.
field. The crowd
Like,
may be losing just a little bit of the edge.
it sucks because it feels like sometimes just randomly obviously we saw it, halfway through Madden 20 when like silver players were randomly like 15K or some shit.
Now Mayfield lost the football, and the Cowboys have recovered.
Okay, so I recovered the fumble. Now, do I need to just score a second touchdown? Okay, yeah, it's not a passing or rushing, so that's... At least they didn't make it to where you have to rush for a touchdown both times. Those are the ones that suck, too, because it's like, oh, get 2 passing touchdowns. And when you're trying to get that second passing touchdown, and you, like, run it just to get a little bit closer, and then all of a sudden you're running back, like, every tackle. Well, you try to go down and they hit you towards the end zone, and then you have to try to go down again. And it's like, what the hell? Okay, so obviously your favorite football team is the Vikings. And I'm assuming, since you said you're in Minnesota or whatever, you like that town. I'm assuming you like the Twins too.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw.
All right, so same question there. If you weren't a fan of the Twins, what baseball team do you think you'd be a fan of?
And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Definitely not.
They'll try and pick it
Yeah,
up.
not the Yankees. Fuck the Yankees.
Into the end zone.
I like the Yankees and I don't like the Dodgers.
Redanian Tomlinson, a 6-yard touchdown run. There you have it, another challenge and another victory. Now remember,
Probably the Red Sox.
I'm a Padres fan. If I wasn't a Padres fan, I'd probably want to be a Blue Jays fan, probably. Ooh, 81 Christian Kirk. Too bad it's a Nat player, though. Yeah, but he, yeah, I'm gonna throw him in one of the team builder sets. Okay, but I'm done with him. So, how close am I to that other one? I thought this was the last one I'd have to do. I literally have to do one more challenge, and I got 74 to 84. Now I gotta figure out which one of these I want to do, because most of the rest of them are defense. So I'll probably just save those for when I get off stream, probably. Terry McLaurin, do I have anything left with you? No, I just have a 1-star left for you. Darius Leonard. What's your thing? Don't allow 40. Okay, I'm not even going to bother don't allow yards right now, because I'm pretty sure they're just going to make them earn the yards anyways. I'm not going to go through those 3 challenges just to get the last couple stars there. Score 10 plus points in the second quarter. Lead by 3 plus points in the second quarter. This should be pretty easy, I think. Okay, so do you plan on branching out into YouTube as well, or are you keeping it more on Twitch?
That's good.
That's probably a good idea, because I've seen, like, obviously CJ Sauce, Up and Adam, they run, like, their multiple, YouTube and all that stuff. But it definitely looks like it takes a lot of time to do those things.
It does.
I think what helps both of them, though, is they can just clip down their, like, YouTube video, their stream into a YouTube video, and just add an intro and the outro. But, like, if it's, like, me, I don't have that luxury. I just put the streams in full onto the channel. And then I just record, like, when I do things like Ruby and other things that I'm into. I see those in, like, a vlog format. But, yeah, this is going to probably go up on YouTube either right after I'm done and it goes up in vlog form, or it'll be up tomorrow. So if you want to drop by that, drop a comment and like and all that stuff, that'll be cool. And obviously this is both to you and to chat that's in here right now. But yeah, I'm trying to put a lot more into YouTube. And it's actually working out. I think I'm getting like, at minimum, like 10 views on the last couple videos I've posted. And there's been a lot more interactions on them recently too, which means that people are obviously enjoying the channel quite a bit.
This was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open just a little underneath.
Yeah,
Just trying to free up some space.
it's a fun, like, what I just noticed is it said I have to lead by 10, so I have to score 3 times by, like, the end of the half. Oh no, it's score 10 points, lead by 3. Okay, so I read that wrong. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of my streams are going on there right now. And then I'm doing like discussions about other like TV shows and stuff I like, which is probably coming up. I have 2 franchise modes I'm going to do, which will be a Jets franchise and a Chargers franchise. Well, I'd do one where I'd have to put a lot of work into it, and then the Chargers one I have to do a little less work. I just have to hope the young players develop.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
That's the key.
I mean, to be fair, like, Chargers, like, defensive-wise, Chargers aren't a bad defense. They just had a bad coach for defense last season. He's very, like, one-dimensional with what, like, he would call for his players. It's just basic coverages, and it's just like, that's not going to work on any quarterback in the NFL right now. But that's why I'm glad we got Lombardi and Staley, because they're both really good defensive minds. So hopefully that fits in defense. And I think one of our coordinators are really good with the quarterback position, so that'll help Herbert. And I think it's actually Staley who was good with quarterbacks. So not only is our coach a defensive-minded coach, but he can also help Herbert develop too. Okay, so obviously we know that if you ran the Vikings, you'd first get rid of Kirk Cousins in some way or another if you can. Is there any other players on the current roster that you think you'd get rid of if you had a chance to run? And also, who would you try to trade for if you were in charge too?
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
He was looking to get it to Parker again, and now it's second down.
I'd probably get rid of Barr.
Now it's Herbert. Flushed out right. And that's complete to the right side of Allen. And he's brought down. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down. Play action. It's Herbert. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
If it were me, I'd try to bring in, like, someone like Gardner Minshew probably is who I would bring in.
They'll run on first down.
I feel like with a better, like, surrounding cast, he would have done a lot better in Jacksonville.
Second down and 8.
I agree.
And with who you guys have on offense, that's, like, basically perfect. He has 2 playmakers on the perimeter. He has a tight end, sorta, and he has a running back that'll take pressure off.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. They'll look for the first with Tomlinson. They only get 2 there, but on third and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
That's the deal with those quarterbacks.
From the gun, they give the Tomlinson. Yeah, strong running there as he's inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
So you live in the central time zone. What's the temperature where you're at right now?
This a third and about 2.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they showed passive formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to
That's not actually that bad.
Justin Herbert taking it back for 4 yards. And just like that, another ultimate challenge has been defeated. Savor the victory.
On top of that, it's kind of unbearable up here because usually when it gets hot up here, it gets humid as well.
Yeah, up here, it's, I think, supposed to be 105 today.
Jeez.
And for the rest of this week, it's going to be 97 or lower, but we have been getting consistently 100s for the past, 4 days, I think. Like, where I'm streaming right now, it's pretty... It's not fun, is the least to say about that. That's why I have the fan next to me. I always have to pull it this way. But the reason why I don't do it during stream is because, obviously that messes with my audio. So that's one of the reasons I've been thinking about streaming a little bit later, too. Because obviously it's cooler. Okay, I see what happened there. I thought I was playing Superstar Challenges and I was going to get another one of the packs. And I remember now that I switched out of that. So what do you think so far about the LTDs and stuff in Madden?
We've only had the 2 Legends so far. Looks like they're doing the same thing that they did last year where they go into Sam and they do the LTDs on top of the extra overall.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's a pretty fair assessment there.
I mean, none of the superstars, there's no LTDs, the superstars yet. Maybe, I'll think about the next promo, might have an LTD, but usually they do when a promo comes out. Usually there's an LTD each promo.
And then
I just hope they do I'm not going to do the same one all the time. Back to the company after a while,
So when you do your streams and you're obviously, or when you're off stream, I guess, how do you make your coins? Do you use Adam's coin making methods to make coins, or do you just play through challenges, or what do you do?
I have. A lot of mine came off of spending money with cards and selling them because I didn't want to. That's where a lot of my coins come from right now. I haven't really dug into Adam's coin methods yet.
Yeah, I like doing...
Otherwise it's challenges.
I like going through, the sets like I'm doing right now, and, getting rid of my, silvers, trying to get gold, and obviously sometimes you're lucky and you get, a 9k quick sell power-up player.
Yeah. Well, I've done that, too, where I'll exchange to the low gold, that's going for you, some amount of money, that's money that way, too.
Yeah, I think Up and Adam called it a ladder method or something like that, so... you don't get a lot of... You obviously aren't guaranteed a lot of coins from doing this, but if you're lucky and you get power-ups, you can obviously maybe get a couple thousand from each power-up. And then, with the golds, if you're lucky, you can pull one of, the glitchy gold players, and you can probably get, a couple K that way, too. But I mainly have been playing through the solos. I played a couple solo battles. I'm probably going to do a lot better at that next week because I didn't know it refreshes your opponents after the first 3 days. Otherwise, I probably would have done them sooner. And then, right now with solo battles, I think I'm up to, 11K in a Hail Mary pack right now. And probably when I get off stream, I'll probably do 1 or 2 more of those. But yeah, right now I'm keeping all my Charger Silvers right now. Because I have no idea when they're going to come out with better players for them. And if I ever do make the Chargers lineup, I'd like to have them in whatever rarity they come in right now.
Earlier this past week, when the clutch packs came out, the first time they came out, I decided to go into the lab just for the hell of it, and end up pulling a full legend out of it, so I made some coins out of it as well.
I like when that happens, because it's oh look, Mike Williams. I like when that happens, because I've done that a few times. I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and open pro fantasy pack, and I end up pulling like an 84, 85 legend and easily make my coins back. And then some. So like that's one of the reasons I open packs, because obviously you have a decent chance at getting, some type of decent player out of it. And like obviously these superstar ones I haven't really tried, because none of these guys are going to be on my team once better Charger players come out. Like the closest one I think about getting out of all these guys is probably I already have Quentin Nelson. I pulled him out of a fucking pack, so. But out of these guys, I think the guy I'd most likely get is like Nick Bosa, maybe. Just because I like the Bosa brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're actually coming up on the end of the podcast. So is there any last statements or anything like that you want to make?
I'd say, because the little time I've streamed, I started, my first affiliate stream was V9, so I've come to realize that numbers aren't everything when you're streaming, not to look at numbers. So my biggest thing is to not pay attention to that, because there will be times, there will be days that the stream does not work out the way you want it to as far as numbers wise. Don't get yourself discouraged. Just kind of keep grinding. Eventually, the next day you may get this fat raid from somebody, and you're gonna have the best stream of your life. So it's just like, well, just keep grinding is the main thing. You just don't get discouraged, because easily.
When I was doing the Wolfpack Awards, and this is a good example of what you were talking about. The first year I was doing the Wolfpack Awards, it was when the community was still medium-sized, not as big as it is now, but not small. And I remember going through the results, and I think it was Vose or Goat Geezy rated me like with 150 fucking people.
Yep.
And that to this day is still one of the biggest raids I've had. But I get occasionally I get 10 to 20 people raids, and it doesn't seem to matter what you're playing. The people who really like you and really want to watch you will end up sticking around. And then what I tell people when they ask me what I do about numbers is I don't even care about the numbers until after stream, because all because it says 1 on the screen, that doesn't mean people weren't hopping in and out, because you might have 80 different viewers that were coming in,
Yep.
And sometimes it doesn't stay caught up, so even though I can click on a screen and it'll say I have 4, I could end up having 6, 7. So
it's easily you get caught up in numbers. You're seeing that 1, 2 in there, or whatever it may be, and then it's easily there to get discouraged.
And that's kind of why I moved more of a variety streamer, because instead of playing Weekend League or head-to-head when I don't have the internet connection to actually pull that type of stream off, it's also because I know I won't enjoy it. And I told this to everybody up to this point that's been on the podcast, I like getting people to discover new games or rediscover a game they love.
Yep.
And that's why I stream. If you looked at my end of year goals that I had one goal there that I would love to experience a level 5 hype train, because I've never had one happen to me. I've been part of plenty though. And so that was one of my goals, because it's something I haven't been able to get yet. I can't get rated with 100 plus people, because that's already happened. And then if you looked at my goals, it was helping other people get to affiliate and hoping I can help a few people get the partner. Because I want to be a partner one day, but I want to see people who have earned it get it before worrying about myself getting it.
Yeah.
I think
it's nice to be a part of that too, helping someone get to that point. That's seeing them get there.
Yeah, I want Murphy D, Luch, Big Evo. I want those guys to get partnered, because they're on a constant grind almost every single day.
Yeah.
And they've done so since I entered the community, if not before. And so they definitely deserve a partnership. They won't tell you that, because both of them are super, like me, super humble, I guess.
Yeah.
But they definitely deserve it with all the work they put into it. Okay, well, I would like to thank you for being part of the podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
You were officially the 4th guest on the podcast, and we got 2 people lined up that might be doing it, but I'm going to be asking around. We're going to see who the next guest is going to be. And my plan eventually is to get like a poster board and put every single guest that I've had on that poster board to keep track of who I've had on and who I haven't had on. Because I want to have as many people in here in the community on this as possible to help their names get out there, to help them grow and all that type of stuff.
Yep.
Alright, well, I'll talk to you and see you around the Twitch streets today, I'm sure. And you have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Alright, bye.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so that was the podcast today. The video of this will be up at probably late tonight, early tomorrow, probably. For those of you who were listening, lurking, whatever the case may be, when you see that notification on Twitter that it's gone up, or you see the post itself, if you don't mind going, at least hitting the like button and subscribing if you're not already subscribed. If you want to, go ahead and comment on it, because all those things help the video climb up a little bit when people are searching the topics that I'll have tagged. I purposely haven't been splitting up into 15-minute videos, but I'll probably leave a poll on Twitter that lets you guys decide if I should split them up into 15-minute videos or if I should leave it one long 2-hour video. So look out for that. Thank all of you guys for watching, and let's go ahead and see who we can find to hit with a raid. If you guys have any suggestions that are currently in chat, go ahead and let me know who those are, and we'll see if we can raid them with the people we have. But for now, I'm going to scroll to the bottom while I wait to see if anybody has any suggestions for me. Keep in mind, I try to raid people with less than double digits if there are any that I'd want to raid that, fall into that category. Jay Fizzle, maybe. I'm Dags, possibly. Soaring something. Oh, here we go. GD4. Alright, we're going to raid GD. If you guys have his emotes, make sure you drop them when you get in the chat. And make sure you drop mine if you have them as well. Make sure you also refresh his stream so you count as a unique viewer as well. And if you're not following him already, make sure you follow him. And I shall see you guys in the next stream, which will likely be tomorrow, Final Fantasy VII. I'll see you guys then.